Earth Day enthusiasts get together for an electric and hybrid vehicle car show in Canton. Plus, off-road vehicles rev up their engines and rev up the Lewis County economy as the annual SNRT Run rolls on. And the Taste of the Town Food Festival turns 20 as more than 600 people turn out to see what's cooking in Watertown. Good evening. Thank you for joining us this weekend. I'm Zach Grady. Brendan Straub is off tonight. First tonight, one person is dead and a second is injured after an all-terrain vehicle collides with a pole in the town of Martinsburg. The Lewis County Sheriff's Office reports the crash happened Saturday when 55-year-old Gene Clark and 48-year-old Kim Clark, both of Rome, New York, were traveling on Swerwinski Road. Sheriffs say the ATV left the road colliding with a utility pole. Mrs. Clark was transported from the scene with significant injuries, later succumbing to them at Lewis County General Hospital. Mr. Clark suffered a leg injury after being ejected from the ATV. Sheriffs are still investigating. It is not believed that alcohol and speed were a factor in the crash. Lewis County Sheriffs are investigating a second crash that occurred early Saturday morning just before 4:30 a.m. Angelo Corto, 46, of New Jersey, and Paul Lacaze, 34, from Queens, New York, were driving north on Kronk Road when their UTV rolled after failing to negotiate a turn. They struck a tree. Mercy Flight transported Curto to SUNY Upstate with unknown injuries. Lacaze was taken to Lewis County General Hospital before being released. Lewis County Sheriff's investigation is ongoing. They are asking anyone with information to contact their office. Let's head over now to the Weather Center, and Kris Hudson is in for our first weather.
Well, it was a really nice day for us today. It was a little breezy at times, but nonetheless, we did have some nice weather out there till that cold front moved on through, giving us rain and thunderstorms this evening. As, of course, you can see on the Northeast Satellite and Radar, rain continuing to move through out there. First weather is brought to you by Doors Plus in Adams Center. Here closer to home, you can see still dealing with rain showers out there. Most of this is light to heavy at times. As we go throughout the rest of the overnight hours, the rain will start to come to an end, and then much cooler conditions heading in for our Sunday. We're going to be staying in the lower 50s for highs, so yeah, a lot cooler tomorrow than what it was today. I still think that we see a few scattered showers on and off throughout the day as well, but the question is, will we warm back up this week? Well, Zach, I'll have that answer in just a few.
Thanks, Kris. People were out across the North Country Saturday as spring has sprung in Jefferson, Lewis, and St. Lawrence County. We start there in Canton as one group hosted an Earth Day electric and hybrid vehicle car show. 7 News reporter Sean Brenda tells us how these owners are embracing their electric rides.
Electric cars lined up alongside each other Saturday at Neveldine Hall on SUNY Canton's campus. The cause? To promote the benefits of switching from gas vehicles to electric. Vehicles on site include Priuses, plug-in hybrids, Teslas, and a few Chevy Bolts. Ginger Story Welch says her Bolt is only a few years old. She says she saved money driving it and has data to prove it.
In 2022, we drove this car, the Bolt, 17,355 miles, and it cost us $493 in electricity.
Ginger Story Welch left her Prius plug-in hybrid at home. She says they only went 10,700 miles with it, but spent more than $686 in gas.
When it comes to fueling, gas-powered vehicles and electric vehicles are very different economically. With gas-powered vehicles, you spend almost hundreds of dollars a year at the pump alone. But with an electric vehicle, you're only spending a few cents recharging with these battery packs.
Drivers say charging stations are becoming more prevalent across the country. Tesla Model 3 owner Bob Penske says he's been able to charge his at home using his own solar array.
We know quite well what our costs are, and it's just about 2 cents a mile to run an electric car that you charge with your own solar.
With electric vehicles becoming more affordable, Penske says the national effort to reduce emissions is justifiable with the amount of emissions a gas car can produce.
Every mile that you drive a gasoline engine, you're producing 10 cubic feet of exhaust that's polluting the air we breathe.
These drivers say they're driving greener for a brighter future. Sean Brenda, 7 News.
The Taste of the Town turned 20 Saturday. More than 30 restaurants served up their best dishes for the 600-plus people who found out what was cooking in Watertown. The 20th annual tasting was put on by the Watertown Sunrise Rotary. The fundraiser is the biggest of the year for the Rotary Club. Proceeds from the event help to provide a grant to a local organization each year, with this year's grant being given to the Victims Assistance Center. Organizers say attendance is up for both people attending and for the number of vendors participating.
We have much better turnout this year than what we saw last year. And again, I think people are just over the pandemic. They're ready to get out and enjoy things. And it's a good event. The weather's great. So it's been a great day.
One of the judges at this year's event, WWNY's own Mackenzie Pyatt. First-time participant Taste of the Philippines took home the top prize, winning both the Best Local category and the People's Choice Award. Thousands rolled out and revved up their off-road vehicles for the 18th annual Snert Run. Part snow, part dirt, the Snert Run provides big business for those in the Tug Hill area each year. I got a chance to talk to one of them this morning, plus speak with the organizers of the annual event.
For the Tug Hill region, this will give everybody a shot in the arm that they need for the in-between off-season.
Officials estimate more than 6,000 people came out for last year's part dirt, part snow ride known as the Snert Run. With organizers saying they think this year will be even bigger, businesses around Barnes Corners couldn't be more excited.
How are you today? Good. I hope you have a great day and stay safe. Thank you.
It's a huge financial impact. This weekend is, kind of carries you through till you get to, Memorial Day weekend and people start riding more and getting, camping in.
The annual event is a kickoff to the spring riding season and a much-needed boost to Barnes Corners after a slow year for snowfall.
With the lack of snow we had this year, the restaurants, the businesses, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon and partaking in. It'll be a good event this year.
This is a big weekend for us because you're kind of transitioning from winter into the summer season. So this weekend is kind of a nice, bump in activity and everything for the whole hill.
More than a dozen local businesses from across the county took part in Saturday's Snert Ride. Still to come tonight on 7 News, Kris Hudson rejoins us from the Weather Center with your full weekend forecast. Plus, baseball, softball, and lacrosse. Rob Krone's in with your North Country Sports Report.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Brendan Straub. Weekend weather with Kris Hudson. And your North Country sports with Rob Krone.
The battle is still raging over an FDA-approved bill that's used in more than half of the abortion procedures in the United States. On Friday, the Supreme Court issued an order to preserve access to misoprostol while the legal battle continues. CBS's Kristen Benavides with the latest.
Next month, a federal appeals court is set to hear arguments in the legal battle over the abortion pill mifepristone. Late Friday, the Supreme Court halted temporary restrictions on access to the drug while the battle plays out in the lower courts.
The Fifth Circuit will review the case on its merits in a few weeks, and they will issue an opinion.
The case, which could make its way back to the Supreme Court, began in Texas. The litigation seeks to reverse the FDA's approval of the drug more than 2 decades ago.
Well, really, judges should not be making medical decisions for individuals or decisions about the safety of a medication. They don't have the background for it.
Following Friday's ruling, President Biden released a statement saying he stands by the FDA's, quote, independent expert authority to review, approve, and regulate a wide range of prescription drugs. A lawyer representing the group that filed the initial challenge said the fight is not over.
This is the first opportunity where our clients can go in front of the courts and present to the courts all the unlawful behavior and reckless behavior by the FDA to approve these drugs.
2 conservative justices, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, said they disagreed with the court's action Friday, though no other justice commented publicly. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
All right, Kris, you said you had the answer. If this weather's sticking around, what can we expect?
Well, we have rain tonight, and we still have some more showers tomorrow as well. So details on that coming up next.
Now, tonight's weather.
Well, it was a really nice but a very windy day for us today. And then we had a cold front move through that has drastically dropped our temperatures throughout the afternoon and evening hours. And we've been seeing some heavy rain out there as well. Still seeing rain out there. And we did have a severe thunderstorm earlier, but you can see most of us just dealing with some light to moderate rain, especially in portions of St. Lawrence County, seeing that moderate rain as that cold front continues to pass on through. We're just seeing post-frontal showers now. And let's pause the radar, see where the heaviest rain is. We can see it's going to be up there right around Canton, Potsdam, over towards Hopkinton in St. Lawrence County, then over towards Wanakena, Star Lake, and Tupper Lake. Going to be seeing some heavier rain as well. And then for us here in Jefferson and Lewis counties, we're just dealing with that, say, light to moderate rain at times. But we did have a severe thunderstorm move through earlier that caused some wind damage in portions of Lewis County, right around Lowville and Glens Falls there. Saw a little bit of wind damage, some trees and some power lines fell down. Around 800 people were without power earlier. I think most of that has been restored for most locations now. But here in downtown Watertown, still seeing the rain falling out there. Other than that, it's kind of a calm night for us. 48 degrees at current temperature with the winds coming out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. So nowhere near as strong as they were earlier today. And the question is, will those winds be picking up once again? Tonight, I think they're going to be light. And then as we go throughout the day tomorrow, probably a little breezy at times. Not as bad as what today was, but still breezy conditions in the forecast tomorrow. Our high today, though, was 75 degrees, and that's close to our record of 79, set back in 1973. And then our low so far is at 48 degrees, and we will be dropping down even lower as we go overnight tonight as those temperatures continue to drop. It's still currently 52 degrees for Messina, 53 Brazier Falls, 50 degrees in Canton, and 49 for Lowville. And then, of course, a little bit cooler up on the Tuck Hill as you go up in elevation. As far as tomorrow, it's going to be a cooler day. We're talking highs staying in the lower 50s, 52 degrees for most locations. I do think that we see scattered showers throughout the day. It's not going to be a washout by any means, and I do think that we will see some sun here or there, but nonetheless, we could see a few showers. By 7 o'clock in the morning, though, you can see still dealing with some widespread rain for eastern St. Lawrence County. The rest of us most likely dry as most of that precipitation has moved on out overnight tonight. And then as we go towards noon, you start seeing the scattered showers starting to form, clouds breaking up for some locations. That's why I'm saying I think that we do see some sun throughout the day tomorrow, but we still have the scattered showers in the forecast on and off throughout the day on Sunday, especially as we go overnight Sunday towards Monday as well. We'll have scattered rain in the forecast for most of the week. You know, we had a severe thunderstorm today. Perfect time to talk about our Sky Warm Storm Spotter class coming up on May 1st. That's coming up very quickly. We currently have 53 people registered for this class. We're trying to increase the number of spotters in our area. That way we can get some better data. It's going to be May 1st at 6 p.m. at Indian River High School. Make sure when you register for that class, you click Philadelphia, New York. As far as the extended forecast, we can see it's going to be a much cooler week for us this week. Highs most of the week staying below average, and then the rain staying in the forecast as well, mostly scattered and natured, and then finally getting back up into the upper 50s to lower 60s by the time we get towards next weekend. And, of course, rain coming back into the forecast then.
Thank you very much, Kris. We got your winning lotto numbers when we're back right after this break.
Now your North Country Sports.
It's time for your Toyota Sports Report. A busy day on the local high school sports scene with a full slate of action on the diamond and the lacrosse field. We begin on the baseball field in Dexter, where the General Brown Lions hosted South Jeff. Top one, South Jeff gets on the board. Jack Buckingham singles through the hole into right field. Nolan Widrick scores from second. 1-0 Spartans. Still in the first, Teague Quinn grounds back to the pitcher. On the play, Zachary Blevins scores 2-0 South Jeff. They go on to beat General Brown 14-3. NAC baseball, Hubleton at Norwood Norfolk. Hubleton up 1-0. Matt Richards on an infield grounder. Brock Cousineau scores on the throw, tying the game. Howard Malone shoots the ball to left field, driving in Dylan Lazon. It's 2-1 Flyers. Noah North drives the ball to center, plating Richards and Reese Grant. 4-1 Norwood Norfolk. Bulldogs with 2 runners on. Brandon Praise slams the ball to right, driving in Levi Biller and Dylan Demers, cutting the Flyers' lead to 4-3. Andrew Favreau slashes an RBI single to center. John Ross scores. Norwood Norfolk walks it off on a wild pitch, beating Hubleton 11-10. Other high school baseball scores: Beaver River down Sandy Creek, Lowville over Watertown, Carthage in a slugfest over Indian River, South Louis by 1 over TI, Madrid Waddington defeats St. Lawrence Central, Messina blanks OFA, Gouverneur over Potsdam. On the softball diamond, the General Brown Lady Lions hosted Belleville Henderson. Bottom 1, Haley Parker strikes out, but the catcher drops the ball on the play. Corey Nichols scores 1-0 General Brown. Still in the first, Ashley Ward walks and gets caught in a rundown. On the play, Parker comes in to score. General Brown up 2-0. Lions go on to beat Belleville Henderson 14-3. Other high school softball scores: South Jeff blanks Watertown CNS over Sandy Creek. Edwards Knox by 2 over Lisbon. Delaney Wiley a no-hitter, 15 strikeouts. TI nips Hammond. Harrisville over Lyme in 8 innings. Saranac Central defeats Malone. Peru over Malone. It was Peru by 2 over Messina. Saranac Central defeats Messina. Deposit Hancock blanks St. Lawrence Central. Keshequa over St. Lawrence Central. Turning to the lacrosse field, a non-league matchup at IHC as the Lady Cavaliers hosted Clinton. IHC gets on the board first when Jenna Netto goes top shelf. Lady Cavaliers in front, 1-0. Moments later, Abigail Bombard tickles Twine off the free position, 2-0. IHC goes on to beat Clinton 13-8. Other girls lacrosse scores: Canton over Heuvelton. Plattsburgh defeats Malone. Salmon River big over OFA. Watertown in double overtime defeats CBA. General Brown wins over Jordan Elbridge. Carthage by 3 over Chittenango. Victor by 4 over South Jeff. Boys lacrosse, Watertown big over RFA. Ballston Spa defeats Indian River. Skinny Atlas down South Jeff. Men's Liberty League lacrosse, St. Lawrence meeting RPI. Stu Hutchinson dents net. Saints take a 2-1 lead. Then it's Cody Cipher netting his 17th of the season, 3-1 St. Lawrence. Ben Hutchinson makes it 4-1 St. Lawrence, but the defending national champs come back to beat the Saints 13-7. Other men's lacrosse scores: Clarkson by 6 over Vassar. New Paltz by 2 over SUNY Potsdam. SUNY Canton downs Thomas College. Women's college lacrosse, Clarkson big over Bard. Vassar nips St. Lawrence, and it was Buffalo State over SUNY Potsdam. Liberty League baseball from Clarkson. The Golden Knights meeting Ithaca in a doubleheader. Game 1, bottom 2, Cam Jarrett singles to right field. Robert Whalen scores 1-0 Clarkson. Bottom 3, Colby Brulette hits a sacrifice fly to left. Joe Pagano tags and scores. Clarkson goes on to beat Ithaca 5-2. Other college baseball scores: Rochester defeats St. Lawrence 4-3. It was Rochester over St. Lawrence 8-6. SUNY Cobleskill and SUNY Canton split a doubleheader. Women's college softball, St. Lawrence hosting Rochester for 2. Game 2, bottom 1, Meredith Rose singles to right. Vivian Johnson scores, tying the game at 1. Then Stella Van G is hit, forcing home a run 2-1. Rochester comes back to beat St. Lawrence 7-4. Rochester also takes game 1 6-1. Other college softball scores: Clarkson takes 2 from RIT. Buffalo State sweeps SUNY Potsdam. SUNY Cobleskill takes 2 from SUNY Canton. All right, let's do some trivia, my friend.
Rob, you took care of baseball, softball, lacrosse, but let's talk a little basketball and hockey.
All right.
When was the last time the Knicks, Rangers, Nets, Islanders, Devils, all the New York teams in the playoffs same year?
1996?
Close, 94. Ooh. 94, good year too. Both the Rangers and the Knicks went to the finals that year. Rangers lifted the cup.
Yeah.
We will be right back after this. Thank you again for joining us tonight. For Rob and Kris, this has been 7 News. We'll see you tomorrow.